Hello, my name is John Linford, and I'm the Dean of Foundations in Interdisciplinary Studies at Brigham Young University, Idaho. I'm here in Paris, France, to show you some of the beautiful things we're going to study in this course. Right now, I'm standing outside my favorite boulangerie, or bakery. Bread in France is an art form. Everywhere you look, you see someone carrying a baguette under their arm. I've often wondered why it is that bread is so much better here than anything at home.
It starts with the perfect ingredients. There's an old French adage that a good baker knows the farmer that grows his wheat by his first name. The yeast, an ancient life form that feeds on sugar and gives off gas that leavens the bread, is also critical because each kind of yeast gives its bread a distinct flavor. The water needs to be the right temperature to encourage the yeast to grow, and it's different in the summer than in the winter. A good rule of thumb is that the temperature of the room, the temperature of the flour, and the temperature of the water should add up to 54 degrees centigrade. The dough is mixed and kneaded until it stretches so thin that you can see through it. After it's worked, it needs to rest before it's placed in the oven. The baker pokes the dough with his finger until it bounces back, so that when it's put in the oven, it inflates nicely. Finally, the oven needs to be at the exact right temperature so that the bread comes out with the crust crunchy and the center soft.
It's so good. But why go to so much trouble? Pigs seem content with swill in a sty. Why do humans always have to make everything so complicated?
The Irish poet John O'Donoghue tells us that beauty is the secret sound of the deepest there-ness of things. What I think he means by there-ness is their connection to the One, their eternity, their source in the love and creativity of God. They've always been there and always will. Mortality sometimes gives us a disturbing illusion of the temporariness of things. Scientists tell us that it's the nature of the world to unravel, to proceed from order to disorder. They call this principle entropy. But behind all the entropy are things that are and always will be there. When we see the beauty of something, we perceive its eternal and changeless nature. God teaches us in many ways, through the instruction of the Spirit, through the teaching of prophets and other teachers, through scriptures and great books, through the examples of others, even through the incomparable and surprising wonders of the natural world. God has also inspired artists and musicians and poets to create great works of art that are embedded with truth. They can teach us many things about ourselves if we will only look. A beautiful object calls us to come and know it. As we perceive it and contemplate it, we come to know it better and become more at one with it. This expands the range of our experience, and we become a deeper, richer person. Thus, the selfless contemplation of the other leads to the growth of the self. This is another example of losing ourselves to find ourselves. The opposite is to be so self-absorbed as to not notice the beauty of the other, to miss the call to perception. Beauty sparks a deep desire for intimacy. When we perceive an object's beauty, a desire awakens in us to know it in detail. That's why we photograph wildlife, pick wildflowers, raise gardens, swim in the ocean, climb mountains. It's also why we listen to music, attend the theater, look at paintings and sculptures, and read books. We are seeking to know ourselves by coming to know others intimately. It is important to cultivate a habit of seeing and contemplating beauty in things. In times of trial, this habit of beauty will strengthen us and teach us what we need to know. The philosopher Blaise Pascal said, "In difficult times, you should always carry something beautiful in your mind." It's not likely that we will begin to pursue beauty in the midst of our dark times. But if we have made its pursuit a habit now, when the dark times come, It will be like a true and loyal friend who never leaves our side in the midst of our affliction. You'll notice, though, that I talk of the pursuit of beauty. Beauty doesn't just drop out of the sky onto our heads like the apple hitting Sir Isaac Newton. Beauty requires some conscious effort, and she reserves her richest treasures for those who consistently struggle with her. In this way, she is much like Jacob's angel. We sometimes need to wrestle with her until the break of day before she will bless us. Nevertheless, beauty is all around us, and there are a number of habits, practices, and techniques that you can use to find her. In fact, you can fill your life with beauty if you only will. This course is to help you do that, to lay hold on all beautiful things, and to come to know them.